yeast that a woman took and hid in 3 measures of flour till it was all leavened. Now what he's saying here is, this thing starts small. Yeah, like mustard seeds. But it's kind of like you put this within, I'll put my spirit within you. You put this within, I'm going to write my laws on your heart, my laws within. And it will start to grow. And like yeast changes the whole nature of the dough, this is going to change the whole nature of your life. And that starts to be like, well, that does sort of feel like good news. In the old days, it was more like, I know, I'm supposed to do the 10 Commandments, but I probably don't keep all the 10 Commandments. And so, I'm a goat and you're a sheep. And got a bony finger in my face most of my life. No, this is something that you're going to want to do because the Spirit within you is going to incline your heart. In the old days in the prayer book, we used to say things like, we'd read the 10 Commandments, the Decalogue, and I don't know the tunes y'all use in Canada, but there, after every commandment you sing, Lord have mercy upon us and incline our hearts to keep this law. Incline our hearts to keep. What that really means is, I'm not sure I'm going to do this, but would you change my heart so maybe I will? And so what we're ending up with is, it's like, that's what we believe. I can read the 10 Commandments. I know what it says. I don't know if I'm thinking, Lord, I'm thinking. So we would pray, kind of incline our hearts, because that's what the promise is. I'm going to change your heart. I'm going to put my spirit within you. Heart of stone to heart of flesh. I will incline your heart to want them. Like you want treasures, like you want pearls, like you want all those kinds of things. Well, that's the way it works for us. And so how would that work? I said Jesus had several ways to teach. And one was he did the Sermon on the Mount, maybe Matthew 5, 6, 7. And then obviously I just did the parable. The second was that he'd walk out into the crowds and he'd interact with them. You know, he'd by the finger of God and cast out. But there's a story in the 19th chapter of Luke's Gospel for that interaction piece. And it's a story of a guy named Zacchaeus. And Zacchaeus was at Jericho, and he was a tax collector. I mean, in that day, that meant he was kind of a scuzz bucket. He was not really on the front row of the synagogue. He probably wasn't going to get elected to vestry or whatever. He's just there. And he knows he's busting a lot of rules, and he knows but he heard Jesus was coming to Jericho. Now, he's a little guy, a little tax collector. And so what he decided to do is climb up in the sycamore tree to catch the guy when he comes through. I just wanted to kind of see that. So Jesus was coming there, and he came through and looked up in the sycamore tree and saw Zacchaeus. He said, hey, Zacchaeus, come down, make haste. I want to stay in your house. Zacchaeus made haste. This is Luke 19. Read the story. Made haste, came down, received him joyfully. They were eating a meal together and all this kind of stuff. And Zacchaeus stood up out of the clear blue and said, Lord, if I've defrauded anyone of anything, which he had, I'm going to restore it fourfold. And Jesus didn't say, my, pat him on the back. He said, y'all, today, salvation has come to this house. Now, what he's saying is, you're hearing a changed heart. I didn't ask him to do that, restore everything he's ripped off fourfold. He wants to. He's a wanna. I want to do it. And he's saying, y'all, listen to this. Today, salvation has come to this house. Not because he bought his way into the kingdom. You know, if you give enough money to the kingdom of God, and I'll let you in. No. You're watching a heart transformation. And I'm telling you, salvation has come to this house today. Well, people start going, wow, this is like enacting the promise, whether it's treasures or pearls